What's good, y'all? It's your boy Yeez back here again with another part of the playoff series that I've been doing. I dropped the video a couple days ago talking about the Eastern Conference semifinals. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check that out and then come back over here. But today, we're talking about the Western Conference semifinals. We got the Nuggets versus the Suns, and we got the Lakers versus the Warriors. Now let's talk about these and see who I think is going to the Western Conference finals. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and hit the notification bell next to it so you can get notified on all the content that I'm bringing to the channel. Well, let's talk about these matchups. The first matchup I'm going to talk about is the Phoenix Suns going up against the Denver Nuggets. This series can become interesting, but I don't know if that's going to be the case because I feel like with the matchup between Nikola Jokic and DeAndre Ayton, I just feel like Nikola Jokic wins that matchup every game, every minute, every second. Doesn't matter. Nikola Jokic is coming on top in that matchup. So I definitely feel like it's going to come down to the other players on the Nuggets side and the Suns side to see who's going to win this series. We all know that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, they're going to get theirs. 20, 25 a night, possibly 30. We already know that. But it's going to come down to who on the Suns is going to be able to step up and take that next step in order to help that team win, because I feel like looking at the bench play on both teams, the Suns don't have enough to match up with the Nuggets bench. The Nuggets have shooting, they got hustle, they have physicality, they have all of these things that you want from a bench if you want to be able to win games, especially in the playoffs. I'm also really interested to see what Chris Paul does in this series. Chris Paul is obviously older than he was in his heyday and his prime and everything like that, but I feel like he can still be very effective and be able to help the Suns possibly win a few games. If Chris Paul can get his scoring up to about 15 points a night with about 8 to 10 assists a game, I feel like that'll help the Suns out a lot. Him scoring 10, 11, 12 points is just not going to be enough, because even with the matchup he has to deal with Jamal Murray on the other side for the Nuggets. And I just feel like Jamal Murray is going to try to take advantage of that matchup to the highest possibility that he can. He's younger, he's faster, and he's much bigger than Chris Paul. To me, in this series, the X factor is very, very simple for both teams. It's the bench, like I just said previously before. Whose bench is going to be able to come out and help secure victories? I feel like the Nuggets bench is better than the Suns bench. They have more depth. They have the shooting. I feel like the Suns bench just has a lot of inconsistency. They have guys who can score, guys that can shoot the ball, but can they do it on a consistent basis? So with that being said, I'm going to roll with the Nuggets in 6 games to get to the Western Conference Finals. I just feel like with the combo of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, plus the bench that the Nuggets have, it's just too much for the Suns to deal with. Obviously, the Suns have a lot of star power, but that bench is dismal. Simple as that. Next up, we got what I think is the most exciting series of the entire second round. LA Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. Now, we obviously don't really have to talk about the matchup of Steph Curry versus LeBron, because we already know what we getting at with that one. We know what it's going to be. It's going to be box office. It's going to be something amazing. These guys have met up in the finals, in the play-in tournament, and we just know that every time these guys match up, we get a classic series. We get back and forth. We get a lot of toughness, a lot of physicality, a lot of trash talk on the court as well. So it's going to be really fun to see this. Off the top of my head, I'll say this. The Lakers have to be able to shoot the ball. You know what you're dealing with when the Warriors come to town, or if you're going to Chase Center. They're going to shoot, and they're going to shoot from the first quarter to the end of the game. So you got to be able to match up with that. You have to be able to hit shots if you want to win this series. Now, the impact that Kevon Looney had on the previous series versus the Kings was amazing. He was getting 20 boards, double-doubles, blocking shots, just on the glass like crazy. And it was nice to see, but I really don't think that's going to be the case with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has really been balling out. He did his thing in the first round against the Grizzlies and really basically led the team to the win in the series. So I definitely feel like Kevon Looney is not really going to have the same type of series that he had versus the Kings when he goes up against the Lakers. I'll also say this on the side of the Warriors. Klay Thompson has to hit his shots. Klay Thompson has to come out and give you at least 20 a night in order for them to win this series. Klay Thompson had a few cold games in the series versus the Kings, had a few solid games as well where he was shooting the ball really well, getting to the basket and just scoring a lot. But he has to be able to do that almost every game for this series against the Lakers. This is not a team that you want to sleep on or that you want to go out and have, mid performances against. You don't want to do that against the Lakers because they know how to take advantage of that. We know that LeBron is going to be LeBron. Steph is going to be Steph. Two of the greatest players to ever play the game. We know about that. So what is really going to come down to are the sidekicks. Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, the bench on both teams. Is going to come down to those factors to see who's going to win this series. I feel like personally, Jordan Poole cannot have the same series that he had against the Kings versus the Lakers. Because if you're looking at it, I kind of compare Austin Reeves and Jordan Poole to each other a little bit because they kind of played the same role for their respected teams. And I feel like Austin Reeves is really coming into his own with the way he's been playing over the past few weeks. And Jordan Poole hasn't really been doing that much. He's been missing a lot of shots, causing turnovers and things like that. He cannot do that against the Lakers. I feel like the X factor for both of these teams is very simple. It's going to come down to the sidekick and the supporting cast. So for the Lakers, that's Anthony Davis, supporting cast. For the Warriors, Klay Thompson and the supporting cast. It's going to come down to those things to see who's going to come on top in this series. The Warriors do have the home court advantage in this. And we know that throughout the regular season, the Warriors were not the best road team, but they kind of proved something with this Game 7 win that they just had in Sacramento. But are the Warriors going to be able to win a game or two in crypto? Are the Lakers going to be able to win a game or two in Chase Center? Road wins matter a lot in this series. They really do. A lot more than probably what people are thinking. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. I feel like the series clinching game for this series, the road team is going to win. I feel like this series can get clinched on the road for whatever team is going to win, honestly. So now, my pick. With all of that being said, you take LeBron, you take Steph, you take Klay, you take Anthony Davis, you take supporting casts, mix it all together. I got the Lakers in 6. I feel like LeBron James is really on a mission right now. Nothing against Steph Curry and what he just did. Nothing against that. But I just feel like with the way the Lakers season has gone, from being a team that had a 0.3 chance to make the playoffs to now being in the second round, I feel like they're going to keep riding that momentum and get to the Western Conference Finals for a matchup against the Nuggets. And there you have it. That concludes the second round preview, predictions, thoughts, all of that. That concludes it. So moving forward, we're going to do one for the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to do one for the Western Conference Finals. So with that being said, I got the Nuggets versus the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals to see who's going to represent the West in the NBA Finals this season. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all soon.